Animal Well has been a wonderful experience so far. The pixel art is gorgeous. I love the sense of exploration and the unknown in the world that's been created for this game. And like any good Metroidvania, it has its breadth of tools for you to get. However, I've only been playing this game for around an hour, and I came across this bubble wand item right here. And as you can see, whenever you press X or whatever button you use, it spawns a bubble, which you can kind of step on and use like a double jump. And the game teaches you before this area and after that you can use it to get up to higher ledges than you were able to before. And the game does a great job tutorializing all of this, as it does with most other items it has in the game. But I'm not here to tell you what the game tells you. I'm here to show you something I learned about this bubble wand right here that you will never be finding out in the game unless you're messing around with it like I am. So, as you can see, the bubble wand normally, if you try to spawn a bubble and then spawn another one, it will break below you. And that just seems to be so that you can't infinitely spawn bubbles to gain infinite height. However, I've learned through experimenting with this item that if you jump on a bubble and then jump and spawn another bubble, you can get infinite height, and you can cross infinite vertical and horizontal distances in the air in this game. Now, this is exceedingly busted. This whole section right here is meant to be a tutorial on how you can use the air streams to lift your bubbles up, and all of it is meant to be a way to get you to the right side of the screen I was just on before. It's supposed to show you that you can stand on bubbles and go down, you can hold down and make them go down faster, and it's all meant to lead to you going down here and using your bubble to progress to the next screen. But if you use what I just taught you and you get good enough at it, you can do this and skip the entire puzzle and get back to the entrance. And this is a Metroidvania, and one of the things I love about Metroidvanias is when they let you sequence break. And my goodness, if I don't think that this bubble wand right here is going to be one of the strongest sequence break tools I've ever seen in my life. Especially because this room that you get it in, I don't want to spoil too much about this game's world and exploration, because, you know, that's the main point of these types of games. But this room right here, very early on in the game, this is one of the first tools I was able to find. And I don't even know the breadth of what this kind of unique ability is going to let you skip over. Now, I'm sure Billy Basso was smart enough in his development to realize this was a thing, and if that is so, Billy, thank you so much. Thank you for giving us this type of beautiful skipping item and this type of mechanic that is so just beautifully abusable. I know there is an intended way for the game to teach you things, and I appreciate that, but if you're like me and you want to know how to skip things, not only can you do that jump infinite with the bubble, I actually just learned before making this video that you can do something else. So the one main limitation for the jump bubble strat is that you have to have enough space in front of you to place a bubble. And I think the perfect example of where this wouldn't work is this little pillar, this empty pillar, I guess, this little area up here. Because if you would try to do the infinite jump trick over here, you would run into an issue where you could spawn a couple bubbles and start making your way up. But then you try to do that to the right and to the left and loop yourself, and there's just not enough room for the bubbles to spawn without hitting the wall. You see, like that. So that's where this is limited, where you don't have space to put bubbles infinitely. But I thought that was the case before I learned another strategy. So if you jump and hold down before pressing X, you can spawn a bubble below you. Now, this seems like a cool strategy just for maybe saving yourself from falling into a pit or something. However, I learned that you can also use it for this. Now, it doesn't seem like it, because I'm kind of messing it up a bit, but if you time this correctly, you can gain infinite vertical height just by spamming the buttons timing correctly. As you can see, I'm kind of fixing it, and I'm starting to get a bit of height here. So yeah, the second you get the bubble on, you can just not go left. You can go to the right and jump your way out of the chasm, as long as you're not messing it up like I am. Hold on, I'll cut to where I'm actually doing it correctly. And the key thing to remember with this bubble infinite is that you always want to jump and then press X. It's that order. You can't just X again because it'll delete the bubble. You have to be off the bubble and then immediately pressing X. And I'll probably get better at this as I play the game more. As I said, I kind of just discovered this was possible, and I immediately wanted to record it and let the world know how crazy this kind of this item is. And I keep messing it up, but it's alright. I'd like to say too, if you don't want to use these kind of exploits in your own playthrough, I perfectly understand. It can maybe be giving you a different experience to the very well-crafted game that is here. And I understand if you just want to go through the game casually, because by forcing yourself to do all these tricks, you are kind of just making yourself a platform puzzle game, and making it way more of a platformer for yourself than maybe was intended. But hey, if you like platform challenges, this is the tool for you. And this game is so new that I'd love to see people discovering major skips. I feel like this game is prime for speedrunning, which I love. It's like Hollow Knight, where there's so many cool abilities that you can get to maneuver around the world that people have been able to find very unique applications for. And I'd love to see that happen with Animal Well more, because so far I barely even know this game, but I've been loving it. And I ended it on a death. You know what? I'm not. I'm gonna end this video on me doing this correctly. And there I go. I've just done the first bubble tutorial skip. That's what I'm naming it. Ugh. And no one can call me bad at games anymore, even though I messed it up like 20 times. Just don't. Don't make fun of me. I'll cry. Well, thank you guys for watching this video. I'd love to make more content about Animal Well if I discover any more cool like skips or tricks. Again, I probably don't really want to be doing guides on like where to find all the collectibles and that kind of stuff, just because I think it's nicer for people to figure that stuff out on their own exploration. But mechanics, oh, I love talking about mechanics. If you see my Stardew videos, you know I love mechanics in games. And I'd love to see where all the mechanics in this game can take it once you're optimizing all of your ability to use all of the tools. So, I'll say before I let off too, I actually have a Twitter now that I linked to my Kilroy Was Here YouTube account. And if you'd like to see more videos on this game or Stardew or really just any game that is cool and I find cool information to talk about on, please subscribe to the channel. I'd love to see you here. Thanks, guys. Now go blow some bubbles in the world.